South China Morning Post, 14th of February 2024, in response to Beijing's bullying behavior, the Philippines would uphold assertive transparency regarding the South China Sea dispute. A senior PCG officer stated that, despite Beijing's gray zone tactics in the South China Sea, the Philippine Coast Guard, PCG, has not been instructed to reduce its assertive transparency strategy. This comes 1 month after both nations decided to settle any disputes in the region diplomatically. At a seminar on Tuesday in Manila, PCG Commodore Jay Tarriela declared, "We will continue with the strategy." As the counselor to the Philippine Coast Guard Commandant for Maritime Security, Tarriela acknowledged that the plan had helped bring attention to the fact that China was invading Philippine territorial waters. He was giving a speech at a forum supported by Australian Aid, Canberra's foreign aid organisation, and Stratbase ADR Institute, a Philippine research organisation. Embracing foreign and local media into PCG's missions to Scarborough Shoal and Second Thomas Shoal, where Chinese fishermen, Coast Guard, and naval ships have obstructed and hosed down Philippine vessels in multiple instances over the previous year, is part of the forceful transparency policy. PCG posts details about the incidents on its website as well. Referred to as gray zone actions, these Chinese infractions emphasize Beijing's territorial claims without resorting to open combat. Tarriela made these remarks during her attendance on January 17 in Shanghai, China, at the 8th Bilateral Consultation Mechanism on the South China Sea. The negotiations aimed to ease tensions and enable two-way communication across the disputed waterways. He said that after the meeting on January 17, PCG had not been instructed to alter its aggressive transparency approach. This approach differs from the tactic used by former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte in reaction to comparable acts made by China in the past. Duterte defended his measured strategy by claiming that publicizing such maritime conflicts might provoke China to take a more aggressive posture. As Duterte's administration concluded, Manila revealed that it had filed 211 diplomatic notes with China, 153 of which were from 2021, when their relations began deteriorating. Beginning under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. last year, Tarriela claimed that PCG's policy allows common citizens to feel the full measure of Chinese gray zone aggression, which gives the government increased political latitude to take the hard steps required to push back Beijing. He continued by saying that an information working group comprising PCG, the Defense Department, the Philippine Military, the Foreign Affairs Department, the Justice Department, and the National Security Council handles any messages related to the plan first. "I have to tell everyone the truth," he revealed. "Not everything we go through in the West Philippine Sea is made public." According to him, the Working Committee first ensures that no material given will lead to public panic or misinterpretation. "The world has taken notice of and condemned our efforts to distribute influential films and pictures that accurately depict Chinese illegal activities in the West Philippine Sea. More nations are increasingly denouncing Beijing's coercive tactics and flagrant disrespect for international law, and they are demonstrating their sympathy with Manila in this regard," according to Tarriela. Speaking at the forum, U.S. Air Force Captain Benjamin Goyrigalzari discussed PCG's approach and said that it shifts the calculus on gray zone aggression by imposing a steep international reputational cost to the bad actors and as a tool to address asymmetric challenges. As part of Project Myoushu, a team at Stanford University's Gordian Knot Center for National Security Innovation, Goyrigalzari works to create more potent instruments to resist China's acts that fall between gray and black. Citing PCG's tactic, Goyrigalzari claims that a free press can provide a compelling narrative in the face of Chinese misinformation. He continued, "Journalists on board Philippine vessels are armed and prepared to record encounters with the Chinese militia to expose the bullying that the Chinese are engaging in the South China Sea." The Stratbase ADR Institute's president, Victor Dindo Manhit, attributed the strategy's success to widespread acceptance of Manila's maritime sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. The Second Thomas Shoal, also called Ungan Shoal by Manila, is part of the South China Sea region. There, the Philippine military has beached a warship as an outpost. The shoal is claimed by China, which calls it Renai Jiao. According to a press release released by the Philippine Foreign Office on January 18, Teresa Lázaro, the Undersecretary of Foreign Affairs in the Philippines, and Nan Rong, the Assistant Foreign Minister of China, have decided to enhance maritime communication between their countries' coast guards and foreign ministries to reduce tensions in the South China Sea. The statement further stated that all parties pledged to prevent escalation of tension. In a second statement, the Chinese Foreign Ministry addressed the same issues, emphasizing the need to properly handle maritime emergencies, in particular, the situation on the ground at Renai-Jiao. Gaurav Gulzari co-authored a paper on maritime security cooperation between nations, including the Philippines, with retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Raymond Powell, creator of the security think tank Project Sealight, who also spoke at the meeting. For example, the U.S., Japan, and Australia have volunteered to work together to patrol disputed areas. Japan has extended loans and grants on amicable terms to purchase additional Coast Guard boats, and France has stepped up intelligence cooperation. Canada recently sent a resident defense attaché to Manila for the first time and began providing state-of-the-art satellite feeds to enable the Philippines to monitor dark vessels operating illegally within its exclusive economic zone, they added. According to maritime law, a vessel is considered dark when its transponders or automatic identification systems are turned off or disabled to evade satellite or public monitoring systems. However, radar systems are still able to identify them. Gaurav Gulzari stated at the meeting that China has increased its actions in the gray zone in response to increased international cooperation in the South China Sea. Powell emphasized that to confront China's gray zone methods in the disputed waters, institutionalizing transparency and information distribution are crucial. He claimed that the cockroaches suddenly disperse if the lights in the gray area are turned on.